And here's Ron Meyer, second-year head coach with the Patriots, 5-4 last season, made it to the playoffs, turning the club around. And his counterpart, head coach of the New York Jets, Joe Walton. Earlier in the season, the rap was he's too soft in this, his first year as head coach. And recently, what with the dropping of running back Dwayne Crutchfield, the Jets' leading rusher, some Jet players say he was too hard.
I think the only consistent thing that people do, Marv, is rap. And whether there's always going to be a rap on a coach that's under 500, and that's the way it is with Joe.
All right, the Patriots won the toss. They will receive. Pat Leahy kicking away. Line drive kick. Ricky Smith, second-year Alabama State. Good coverage by the Jets. Smith out near the 20-yard line. So he returns for 20, and the New England Patriots with Tony Eason, the rookie from Illinois, replacing the injured Steve Grogan. Tony Collins, who ripped up the Jets in their early meeting this season, with Mark Van Eegen, the veteran, at fullback, and the receivers. Stephen Starring replacing Cedric Jones, and center Pete Brock is out of the lineup, so Dwight Wheeler is starting at center. More of those Patriot injuries later on. Right to the run, Collins, and picked up 4 yards on the play. Lance Mel coming off a terrific game against New Orleans on Monday night on the stop. Now, the last time the Patriots faced the Jets, Joe Klecko, as we mentioned earlier, was on the outside, but he has moved inside successfully. Woodring replacing the injured Greg Buttle on the left side. And in the secondary, Johnny Lynn starting in place of Bobby Jackson out with a hamstring. Second down and 6. Tony Eason, Patriots #1 draft pick. This his first professional start. Did take over for Grogan in the loss last week to the Cleveland Browns. And it's Collins. Out to the 27. Stopped by linebacker John Woodring. New York Jets come off the 31-28 come from behind win in New Orleans on Monday night. That was capped off by the 76-yard punt return by Kirk Springs. This after losing their previous 2 at home, while the Patriots in a big ball game were set back as they were walloped by Cleveland.
And I'm afraid Cleveland just took them out of the ball game early, and it really was no indication of this group's ability.
Third down and 4. And again to the left. And the first down is picked up. And some more by Robert Weathers. Weathers, the outstanding rookie out of Arizona State, picking up 18 on the play.
Marv, we talked about it early. They will try to run at Joe Klecko. It's the only way to stabilize him. He's so quick. That time they double-teamed him. He had a shot to get the ball carrier, but he ran right through 4 or 5 tackles. Robert Weathers and his little brother Clarence have been some sort of addition to the offense for New England.
And the Patriots coming in the top running team in the National Football League. Their offense second in the AFC. You see one of the Jets injured. Can't pick him up, and I don't want to guess, so we'll identify that injured player in just a moment. Right here, a timeout is called. We'll be right back. It was Darrell Ray shaken up on that last play off the run by Robert Weathers, and Ray has been replaced by last Monday's hero Kirk Springs at free safety. So Kirk Springs in his 3rd season out of Miami of Ohio, now in the Jets secondary. Patriots first down at their 44. We're just underway at Shea. No score. And Eason throwing for the first time. Mark Van Eegen picks up 5 on the play. Ken Schroy, the strong safety, stopping it.
Well, Cleveland's at it again. Baltimore's taken its bumps the last couple weeks. They look like they're in a great position to make a playoff spot. Since then, they've had it a little tough.
5-yard run by Mike Pruitt, giving the Browns the 7-0 lead. Second down and 5 for the Patriots at the 48-yard line. And they come out of the eye. Tony Collins. Tony Collins who is second in rushing in the AFC, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Gastineau and Schroy on the stop, and it's a 7-yard gain for the first down for New England.
Marv, anytime you have a back like a Tony Collins, and there are several of them throughout the league, I'd say as many as 10, all you have to do is get your lineman to get a piece of the defensive lineman, and the linebacker is screened off. On that occasion, both those good inside linebackers were screened off. He picks up 4 or 5 easy.
So to this point, the Patriots having no difficulty running against the Jets. Tony Collins.
We talk about just get a piece of the defensive lineman. Now, John Hanna may be the offensive lineman premier. Number 73 in your screen. He takes off, gets on Marty Lyons. Now look, he moves him 2 or 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. When you get that kind of movement out of your offensive line, a lot of backs will pick up 200 yards for you.
And John Hanna, Ron Wooten at the guards. Bob Kreider was a question mark because of a bruised thigh. And there was the thought Darrell Haley would start, but Kreider and Holloway at the tackles. 2nd down and 5. Collins, that time trying the right side. Crable and Klecko combining on the stop. Steve Grogan, who, according to Ron Meyer, is available if needed. The other quarterback is Mike Kerrigan, who is yet to take a snap in the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't look for Steve Grogan to play. It doesn't matter what the situation develops, because when you have a broken leg, even though it's a hairline fracture, and Lou Erber said it best. He said, I don't want to be responsible for having some complication.
It's a 3rd down and 4. And the Jets go with the nickel back. Here's Eason getting it away. So the Patriot drive has stopped. Stanley Morgan, the intended receiver. Good rush by the Jets.
He threw it to Mr. Sherhands, and that was one of the few times Stanley dropped the ball. He's got excellent concentration. Throw him 10 of those, he'll come down with 9, but that was the first down turnover that he dropped.
And Rich Camarillo, number 2 in punting in the AFC. They call him Boom Boom, a 2-step punter. And Ron Meyer says he's the best in the NFL. Here's Kurt Springs, who took one for 76 yards against the Saints on Monday night. And he boomed it to the end zone. So the Jets will put it in play. The 20-yard line, the 40-yard punt by Camarillo. Todd coming out in just a moment.
In New York, and in Cleveland, the Browns strike fast. Their second play from scrimmage, 61 yards from Brian Sipe to Willis Adams. 2 plays later, Mike Pruitt took it in. 7-0 Cleveland over Baltimore. Now back to Shea and Marvin John.
All right, Len, so the Colts are having their difficulties. The Jets play Baltimore next Sunday in Baltimore. Patriots have the ball 5 minutes, 7 seconds, but nothing to show for it. Jets to the offense for the first time. Freeman McNeil.
Ball carried by Freeman McNeil.
So the short pickup by McNeil. Clayton Wysoon on the stop. As we look at the Jet offensive alignment, Marion Barber starting at fullback. Bruce Hopper may be through for the season after fracturing a rib Monday night against New Orleans. Walker, Jones, and Barkham the receivers. And Joe Fields bothered by a sprained foot out of the lineup, and that's a key substitution. Guy Bingham moving over from guard, and Joe Pellegrini starting at left guard. 2nd down and 7. McNeil. Freeman saw the hole closed and tried to go outside. Picked up 2. It'll be a 3rd down and 5. Wysoon and Tippett on the stop. Ken Sims making his first start of the year. Has seen service briefly the last couple of games, coming off the broken leg. Johnny Rampart in white is a rookie starter out of Clemson and has had a terrific season. And in the secondary, another rookie at the left cornerback spot, Ronnie Libet, along with James Sanford Claiborne. And there's Joe Fields taking in the action via the crutches. 3rd down and 5. Todd going sideline, has a first down. Wesley Walker
Marv, there are some receivers that can beat any defense you throw at them. Now they try to get Wesley Walker in a one-on-one situation, but it's very difficult. Now they're playing a double zone. We see Tippett out here. He's got him one-on-one. There should be no problem. But look at the move that Walker makes. Turns him in, makes the defensive back turn back to look at the quarterback from the inside. When he does so, the ball's thrown to the outside. Easy first down.
And Wesley coming off the 7-reception day last week against New Orleans, but he and Todd have not hooked up effectively until recently, which has been one of many Jet problems. 10-yard pickup on that pass play. Todd able to get it away, but threw it behind McNeil.
And you know, it's really funny. What McNeil was trying to do is get out of the way of the umpire, and in so doing, he ran right away from the pattern that Todd was trying to throw. It was intended for McNeil all the way. The play broke just as you would design it, and he might have thrown it a little early, but I think he had to. Look here.
All right, John, your 49ers.
It's a big game for San Francisco, and believe it or not, Chicago is not dead yet.
All right, Bob Thomas, 29-yard field goal for the Chicago Bears. Tight ends have been alternating to send in plays as the Jets have a 2nd and 10, and it's McNeil. He slept. Freeman getting to the 35, picked up a yard on the play. Freeman made his return last Monday and picked up 86 yards on 20 carries against the Saints. His first appearance in 7 weeks after suffering the separated shoulder.
And he's still not as sure of himself as he would be in 2 or 3 weeks. And, you know, he is such a great running back that you can't teach the things he has. It's just that he doesn't see the picture he's going to see in a couple weeks. You have to get used to looking at it.
And Todd has a 3rd and 9. Going sideline. Scott Kirking not able to hang on. So a quickie series for the Jets. There is a Patriot hurt.
This will probably go unnoticed, but it's the little things that keep you from being well thought of by your fans. The fans notice that if it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go for a first down, and you throw the ball in the flat, where if it was completed, it would still only go for 2 yards, that's not going to be acceptable. He had plenty of time, and for him to have come off to Durking at all was a mistake.
And that is linebacker Andre Tippett. Andre Tippett, 2nd-year man out of Iowa, who was moved inside and now back to the outside, and he is on the field hurt. Jets getting set to punt. Long drive by the Patriots did not result in any points, and the Jets picked up 1 first down, but now forced to kick the ball. Minnesota leading New Orleans 3-0 in the first.
You know, who'd have thought they'd have been in a position at this point in the year after losing Tommy Kramer to go in there and play the way they have. Steve Dills has come off the bench and just done everything a young quarterback could be expected to do.
Now a timeout has been called. We have 7 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in this first quarter. All right, Chuck Ramsey getting set to punt. Andre Tippett now on the Patriot bench, and they are checking him out. Back deep is Ricky Smith, who has had several adventures as of late. He's gone hot and cold catching the ball in punting situations. Good hang time by Ramsey. Penalty flag down. Ricky Smith with a series of moves. 8-yard return off the 44-yard punt. Right now, let's get back to New York for an update.
Okay, Marvin, Cleveland, after the Browns scored, the Colts came right back. Raul Allegre kicked it through from 31 yards. That's the first points against Cleveland in 9 quarters. It's now 7-3 Browns. Marv?
All right, Len, Patriots back to the offense. Off the punt by Ramsey, but a flag thrown. And here's the indication from the referee, Jim Tunney.
Illegal block to the back. Number 35 during the run back. First down.
All right, back up. Running back George Peoples called for that illegal block. There's Andre Tippett as the Patriots check him out on the sideline. So first down for New England at their 18-yard line. No score, 7:20 remaining. First quarter. Tony Collins. Mark Gastineau, who had all kinds of problems with Collins back in September, on the tackle there.
It doesn't seem to be that there's any fooling the Jets. They're just trying to run right over the top of them. We mentioned they were going to run at Klecko and Gastineau. They haven't surprised anyone. They try to double team Gastineau. He steps aside like a bullfighter and brings the ball carrier down for a 2-yard gain.
Second down and 8 at the 20. Mark Gastineau has come on very strong in recent games. Collins lost the handle, but the recovery. Marty Lyons and Ken Schroy on the tackle, so Tony Collins nearly coughed it up.
Well, they were so effective running the ball against the Jets the last time these two teams played. They're going back to the same formula. They haven't been as effective this trip. I expect to see Tony Eason firing the ball around the infield a little more, as I don't think they're going to allow him to move.
Redskins over the Eagles, who come off the trouncing.
So what's new?
Yes. Third down and 12. Back at the 16. Eason running for the first down, and Tony Eason, who has the good mobility, able to run away from Gastineau. A 13-yard pickup for Tony Eason.
You know, I wonder if he made the first down there. It looked like he was going to make the first easily, and I think he put his right foot on the sideline when he was stepping out, and I think it's going to come up short. This is the kind of mistake that Sam Cunningham made in a playoff game about 5 years ago against the Raiders. So this looks like a replay. You see that? Just a little short, folks.
Being chased by Johnny Lynn after Gastineau could not haul him in.
Oh, he's got it.
They took another look. He just did pick it up.
That's cutting it a little bit too close, pal.
The word on linebacker Andre Tippett, bruised ankle suffered by Tippett, as we take another look.
Well, he thought he had it by just a little bit more. He thought the left foot was where it was. Still a good play.
All right, first and 10. Patriots from their 28. No score. 6 minutes left in this first quarter. Eason throwing on first down and throwing it away. Stanley Morgan was out on the flat, but well covered by Johnny Lynn.
I think Stanley Morgan was the most surprised guy in the house when that ball came in his direction. It was certainly, as far as he was concerned, not intended to go his way.
All right, as you look at that piece of information, Tony Eason, the 4th of 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, preceded by John Elway. Jim Kelly taken by Buffalo, but he went to the USFL, and Todd Blackledge taken by Kansas City. Second down and 10 from the 28. Little mix-up there. That was not the play, as Collins was stopped by Klecko. A late handoff from Eason.
Well, if you recall, they picked up a first down handing the ball to Robert Weathers on a similar situation. He went about 20 yards. This time, Collins was going nowhere.
And lost 5 on the play. So third down and 15. And Kirk Springs in as the nickel back. Thus far, Collins 8 carries, only 11 yards. And this is Weathers. Robert Weathers, who reeled off an 18-yard pickup earlier this quarter, this time for 9, but well short of the first down. Lance Mellon, Kirk Springs combining on the tackle.
You get the feeling, Marv, that they do not want Tony Eason to take the ball, make a big mistake early, and lose his confidence or get them in a hole. Last week against Cleveland, it was 20-0 in the period of 4 plays, and things turned very sour for them. They feel if they just stay in the game, they'll win it in the long run. Whether that's true or not, we'll see, but that's what they're doing.
And here's Camarillo back at his 17. Kirk Springs awaiting at his 21. Springs comes up for him. And had to cover up just inside the 30. So Rich Camarillo for a 40-yard punt. The Jets to the offense. 4.5 remaining in this scoreless first quarter. A two-time Pro Bowl selection. Center Joe Fields sitting it out today. Bothered by the sprained foot, had it stepped on Monday night. So Guy Bingham starting at center. Larry McGrew has replaced the injured Andre Tippett. Outside linebacker on the left. First down for the Jets at their 29. Shot with the sideline pattern. Jerome Barkham run out by the free safety Rick Sanford. Sanford in his 5th season out of South Carolina, covering Barkham on the play.
4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6.
So 4 picked up, 2nd down and 6 for the Jets. It has not been a strong season for Richard Todd, although he had that good one Monday in New Orleans. 20 for 30, 230 yards, engineering a beautiful drive in the 4th quarter, but he has had his ups and downs. So the pass completed was whistled dead. Picked up 5 on the play out of the 38-yard line. Marion Barber seeing much action because Bruce Hopper is out with that fractured rib. A 2nd-round draft pick 3 years ago out of the University of Minnesota.
And I'm a little surprised that they haven't put more heat on Todd than they have early in the ball game, because without Bruce Harper, he doesn't have that layoff, the man to go to when things get a little congested. So far in this ball game, he's had plenty of time to throw. I would expect him to throw until they get close.
All right, 3rd down 1, and McNeil slashing for the 1st down. Freeman McNeil picking up the Jets' 2nd 1st down of this 1st quarter. We have 3:40 remaining. And no score. Joe Walton reinserting Marion Barber.
And let's take a look at why soon. One of the really outstanding young players that the Patriots did get in the last year's draft. He's come on and replaced Steve Nelson, plays just like him.
Patriots say Wysoon is the find of last year's draft, and they are saying the same about Johnny Rampert concerning this season's draft. Here's McNeil. Shake and bake move, but it did not work. Strong safety Roland James on the tackle.
Well, Ken Sims is in there for the first time in quite a while, and he stuffed that one for no gain. And New Orleans looks like they're not going to let Minnesota just run over the top of them as they slip 7 on the board.
2nd down and 9.
What does that mean?
Well, Jets have really had their problems. In the 1st quarter, they've scored only 21 points, 12 games.
The 1st quarter is so important too, Marv. You just have to get off to a good start, then you dictate the flow, and that's not the way it's been.
2nd down and 9. Dump off to McNeil. Try to get more out of it, but could not. Ronnie Lippett right there, 4-yard gain. We're set for another update. Let's get to Len Berman in New York.
Thank you, Marv Albert. The Browns strike again. Brian Sipe, this time to a wide-open Willis Adams. That's the combination we showed you before. This one's a 15-yard score, 14-3. The Browns are hot. Back to you, Marv.
So the Browns coming off the 30-0 win over these Patriots last week, looking to put Baltimore under the 500 mark. 3rd down and 5, 46-yard line, Jet territory. That's Jones in motion. But short of the 1st down. Kenny Lewis, who was re-signed by the Jets this season, in fact, had been working for a telephone company and was on his honeymoon when the Jets contacted him.
Now, I think they're going to have a go at it. We're not certain, but I was wrong. This is the sort of play that the fans have grown accustomed to seeing and aren't buying any part of it. Now, to fly that ball over to Lewis when it didn't look as if he could pick up the 1st down is just a mistake. I think it's a quarterback mistake, as he has receivers down the field. It's the 2nd time that their drive's been stopped by doing that, and it's just not smart football.
So with the 4th down and 2, Joe Walton elects to punt. There's Ricky Smith awaiting the Chuck Ramsey punt. And a good one. Took the Patriot hop, which means it comes out to the 20, a 51-yard punt by Ramsey. Minute 29 left in this 1st quarter at Shea, and we have no score. 53 degrees and sunny at Shea Stadium in New York. Along with John Brody, I'm Marv Albert. A minute 29 remaining in this first quarter. The Jets and the Patriots are scoreless. Tony Eason starting in place of the injured Steve Grogan. Patriots first down at their 20. Mark Van Egan out near the 25-yard line. Lance Bell and Darrell Ray combining on the stop.
Pretty good. Marv Van Egen's been picking up 4+ yards for 10 years. Take a look. Now there's the center, Dwight Wheeler. He's got nobody on his nose, and it really takes some of the problems that he could have away. When you're playing center for the first time, you're having enough problems just getting the ball back to the quarterback, and I expect they'll put somebody on his nose if they're effective for much longer.
Second down and 5. Collins. Marty Lyons right there, and to this point the Jets have had Collins' number, a loss of 1, and Tony Collins, who ran for 212 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Patriot victory in Foxborough over the Jets, has been held in check.
You can just see they are going to make Tony Eason throw the football. They've got 7 people on the line of scrimmage. These linemen are coming off their blocks, making tackles as they string the play out, and neither side can get over the line of scrimmage.
Marty Lyons stopping Collins, who has 9 carries for only 10 yards. Third down and 5. Intended for Robert Weathers.
Eason was pretty nifty back there. It's just that he didn't complete the act. He had finally it looked as if he was going to be able to get the ball to his fullback after moving around. You notice a young quarterback that moves around in the pocket the way he does. You see Klecko and Gastineau are not too easy to move away from, but he kind of fiddles around in there, finally finds his fullback. Looks like he's going to hit Robert Weathers and overthrows him.
And Rich Camarillo on for the 3rd time this first quarter, which has 10 seconds remaining. Kirk Springs back at the Jet 25. Good return, but penalty markers are down. Mosita Tupu on the tackle. A 20-yard return by Springs off the 51-yard punt by Camarillo.
Yep, Davlin Mullen just couldn't get in a position to make a proper block, so he was called for clipping or above the waist or whatever you call it.
Davlin Mullen, the rookie from Western Kentucky. All right, this is Tony Eason checking it out.
Illegal push in the back during the run back, 10 yards from the 31-yard line to the 21.
And they will move it back as this first quarter has come to a conclusion. So
I like the way they're doing all this. They got about 5 guys trying to make a decision on how we're going to get the ball back to the other side of the field on the 21-yard line. But when they do, the Jets will have it 1st and 10.
42-year-old Ron Meyer out of Westerville, Ohio, went to Purdue as a walk-on, has had great success wherever he's been. SMU, Nevada, Las Vegas, turning things around for the Patriots. Right now, the Jets, as we get underway second quarter, first down at their 21-yard line. We have no score. Jets go double tight end. And this is Freeman McNeil. So McNeil below deep back across the 27. Let's get back to New York for this update.
Well, Marv, in Tampa, Jack Thompson, a quarterback for the Buccaneers. He rolls out. He'll find Adger Armstrong. That's the first Buck touchdown in 3 games. But they missed the point. Lead Houston 6-0 second quarter. Back to you.
All right, Len, well, Tampa Bay and Houston going at it.
That's a biggie. I think the over and under's 3.
Second down and 5. McNeil picked up 5. Here's Tom. Good pick. Nice catch by A 14-yard pass play. Ronnie Lippett on the tackle. Leaping catch by Johnny Lamb Jones.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny Lamb Jones ducked just in time because there was the Patriot number 42, Ronnie Lippett, that was just about ready to hand him his head. As you see, as he comes down, he sees him just in time. That was not a friendly effort.
Ronnie Lippett has started every game in place of the departed Mike Haynes. This after separating a shoulder in training camp. And the Jets have a first down at the 40. Freeman McNeil out to the 45-yard line. And in the first quarter, Patriots did pick up 54 yards on the ground, although Tony Collins, their ace running back, was held.
Well, they've done it on third down situations where you run draw plays. They made one big first down. The other one picked up about 8 yards when they needed 15. But they're really, neither team is moving very well right now.
That's Andre Tippett was kicked in the ankle in the first quarter, being iced down, and they'll determine later on whether he will be able to return. Todd again with time. Johnny Lamb Jones nearly came up with a beautiful catch.
And he thought that Todd was going to lead him down the field because it looked as if he had beaten the defense. It didn't look like the man playing the deep secondary was in a position to get anywhere near him. Todd was trying to throw it in the seam. Just a miscommunication. They go back, 3rd down and 4.
Not what Todd had in mind.
No, it wasn't the kind of throw that the Jets have become accustomed to seeing Todd make.
Although on the other hand, some will say,
I know what you're going to say.
That has been one of the difficulties. And so the Jet drive has stopped. Jerome Barkham, the intended receiver. And the crowd at Shea reacting here early second quarter with Chuck Ramsey coming on. Thus far this season, the Jets have beaten San Diego, LA Rams in overtime, Buffalo, San Francisco, and New Orleans. They've lost to Seattle, New England, Cleveland, Miami, Atlanta, Baltimore, and Buffalo. Record of 5-7. Ricky Smith averaging 10 yards per punt return. And a short kick. Got somewhat of a roll as it lands inside the 20. Goes down as a 34-yard punt for Ramsey. New England will take over with 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone by, second quarter. New England Patriots first down at their 20-yard line. No score. We're early second quarter. Marv Albert, John Brody from Shea Stadium in New York. Patriots out of the eye once again. And it's Collins. Collins starting out following Van Egan. Woodring and Crable running him out of bounds as we check the scoreboard. Around the NFL, Cleveland leading Baltimore 14-3 in the first quarter. New Orleans down front of Minnesota 7-3 in the second. Chicago and San Francisco knotted up second quarter. Washington leading Philadelphia 7-0. Theismann to Art Monk, 17-yard pass play. And Tampa Bay on a touchdown thrown by Jack Thompson. The reason that Tampa Bay in the battle with Houston still cannot come out with a #1 draft pick. The sack for Kenny Stroy. First sack of the day. Jack Thompson was dealt by Cincinnati in exchange for Tampa Bay's #1.
So they figure they just soon go on and win it, huh?
Right.
They don't get the draft anyway. Okay, Bob Crable, number 50. Joe Klecko, number 73. You're not going to hold the whole crew out very long. This time without a play action pass, it was 2nd and 4. They all met back at the quarterback. Got to keep the heat off the quarterback when you play the Jets. And the best way to do that is by running play action passes when you get in run pass situations, and they haven't done that yet.
3rd down and 12. Billy in Washington outside at 7 as Jaworski hit Hubie Oliver on a 2-yard touchdown. Tony Collins. Lyons and Mel combining.
Hey, both offenses, it looks like, are doing what they set out to do. They're keeping the defense from scoring on them. You get the feeling that nobody is really trying to move the football. Both sides are waiting for a break. Usually when you do that, the only break you get is a bad one.
So here's Camarillo for the 4th time today. That's Kirk Springs. Kirk in his 3rd season out of Miami of Ohio. And we'll check out the hang time on this one.
The hang time was pretty long on the center, but not the kick.
Right. And Springs moving up to make the catch. Only a 34-yard punt. Not one of Camarillo's better efforts.
Don't you wish that Holmes and Frazier had sparred with each other the way these two teams are doing the other night?
Yes, it would have gone a little bit longer, John. There's Andre Tippett being taken back to the New England dressing room, and we'll be right back.
11.
The rookie quarterback out of Illinois, Tony Eason. There's Steve Grogan, who has been sitting it out. Injured in the game against Cleveland last Sunday. And the Jets first down at their 44-yard line. 4 minutes gone by, second quarter. McNeil. So Freeman with the first down, running at 19 yards inside the 40.
Now that's the kind of Richard Todd you like to see. Well done the whole way. He's got the defense looking out to the right side. He knows he's coming back to Freeman McNeil. He does so, beats the linebacker, and in so doing picks up a first down. And John, that's a tough way to go. If you're a linebacker and you're not accustomed to covering a guy like Freeman McNeil, cross flow is really tough.
Jones right, Wesley Walker left. First down at the Patriot 38. And McNeil to the line. Clayton Wysoon on the tackle. Well, coming up next, we'll have the conclusion of the Skins game. 4 of golf's greatest players, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson, and they're playing for a minimum of $20,000 a hole for a total purse of $360,000. The Skins game from Scottsdale, Arizona. That's coming up next on NBC Sports Week 83.
I was still looking for Omar to get in there just for one swing.
It's a second down and 7. And Freeman McNeil on the short pickup. Larry McGrew, who has replaced the injured Andre Tippett, on the tackle.
Well, many people have given credit for the Patriots' improvement defensively this year. It's down 3. Now, Lester Williams, first draft choice last year, had a real fine year, is playing pretty good this year. When a nose tackle can hold his own in there, your whole defense improves.
One of a host of good-looking young players on this Patriot roster, and this is a very young squad. Third down and 4 at the New England 32. Good time. And deflected. Intended for Walker. So again, the Jets hear it from the crowd.
Well, it's happened on third down. This is the 4th time that a drive has been stalled trying to get to a back on third down. And twice the player was short of the first down line. It looks like Clayton Wysoon falls down trying to get to Lewis. And I don't know if it was complete, if it would have been a first down anyway.
So here's Pat Leahy, 11 for 19 on the season. Hit from 37 last Monday night against New Orleans. He's hit his last 2, but only 2 of his last 6. Most from long range. This will be a 49-yard attempt. Oh, what's a fake?
Got nothing to do but run.
Pat Ryan with a beautiful cut.
The play you had the feeling they may not get in a position to ever try. They finally got down there where they could try a 50-yard field goal. Perfect time to pull a fake. Ryan makes a beautiful run. They've got a first down inside the 10-yard line. He doesn't get much of a chance to play. When he does, he's got to make the most of it.
What a cut by Ryan, cutting left to right for the 25-yard gain, and an ovation from this capacity crowd here at Shea. Jets have first and goal at the 7. So Leahy, who has had his problems from long range, has not hit as of late, setting up for the 49-yard attempt, but they fake it. Freeman McNeil cutting. But right to the arms of Don Blackman, number 55, along with 53, Clayton Wysoon. All right, Tampa Bay now leading 12-0, and would you believe they missed the extra point again this time? A bad snap after Jack Thompson connected to Kevin House for 25 yards.
They're not accustomed to kicking those.
That's true. Oh, that's a cheap line, Jack.
All right.
No gain on the play.
It'll be a second and goal at the Patriots center. 8 minutes left. First half, no score. Lots of time. Lamb Jones not able to hold on.
Well, it was in a position. Now, I know this sounds funny, but when a receiver gets the ball thrown about there and he doesn't go after it with his hands, when he jumps and tries to cradle it, the ball will go through there about 25% of the time. He went up trying to cradle the ball. In so doing, he just could not handle it.
It'll be a third and goal.
From the 7.
You know, we have a situation where number 57, Steve Nelson's name is not listed in the lineup card, but I've seen him around all day long.
Oh, he's back.
And I know he's back, and it couldn't be anybody else.
He was reactivated on Friday. Again, Tom had much time, but hit back at the 14-yard line. There is a flag down, thrown in the end zone.
And if, just as we mentioned Steve Nelson's name, he was in on the play.
And it's against New England. Referee Jim Tunney. All right, Tunney kind of sorting things out. Check the top of your screen now. You'll see number 53. Here's Weissoon.
Clayton Weissoon. They're in a blitz. He comes all the way around the pile. If you just keep looking, you'll see him eventually. 57 coming up the middle, 53 coming from the outside.
Holding 55, half the distance of the goal line, penalized the previous spot, first down.
It was number 55, Don Blackman. 3-year man out of Tulsa. There he is. And off the penalty, it's a first and goal at the 4. Scott Durkin and Freeman McNeil, the running backs. Durkin.
Ball carried by Freeman McNeil.
Now check that. McNeil on the carry.
Raymond Claiborne makes the stop.
And Ray Claiborne up from the right cornerback position on the tackle.
You just got a chance to see Joe Walton calling to Richard Todd which play he should call. Oftentimes they will not substitute in a goal line situation. They like to keep the same personnel in the lineup. In order to do that, you have to find somebody to get the play in.
Mike Pagel to Randy McMillan, and Cleveland now leads Baltimore 14-10. All right, from the 2. Conquering end zone and overthrows as McNeil was covered by McGrew.
You know what surprises me? It's if you take a look at the New York Jets personnel, you say, I'll tell you one thing they can do. They can move people off the line of scrimmage. When they get inside the 6 or 7 yard line, it's just tough to contain them. And that's the way it's been for the last 3 or 4 years. For some reason, in the last 5 or 6 games, they haven't been as powerful once they get it inside the 10-yard line as they used to be.
Well, the offensive line has not been as effective this season.
There's 2 changes also. You know, you're used to working together. A man gets hurt, it gets a little tougher.
4th down, 3rd and goal at the 2. And McNeil is stopped short by Ken Sims.
Well, now we know what the fans want to do. We'll see what Joe decides. Well, if they couldn't get it in the end zone in 3 tries, Marv, from the 3-yard line, I see no reason for them to have the viewpoint they can get it in from 1.5 yards in 1. I think Joe's making the right decision. You have to get some points on the scoreboard.
Kenneth Sims making his return off the fractured leg injury. Has played the last 2 weeks, but this is his first start. Injured player is Don Blackman, outside linebacker. It's been a tough first half physically for the Patriot defense. They lost the left side linebacker, Andre Tippett, who got kicked in the ankle, was taken back to the Patriot locker room, and it remains to be seen whether he will return for the second half. Now a timeout has been called with 7 minutes remaining in the scoreless first half.
Pat Leahy will attempt to
And there's Don Blackman leaving. He was shaken up on the last play as Pat Leahy gets set to attempt from 19 yards away. And puts it through. So the Jets take a 3-0 lead on the Patriots, although the fans here at Shea would have preferred the Jets going for the 6 points. But Leahy connects. And with 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining first half, it's a 3-0 Jet lead. Next Sunday, join host Len Berman as NFL 83 kicks off week number 14 with feature reports and a preview of the day's action. Then an NFL doubleheader here on NBC starting 12:30 Eastern. Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, other games Miami and Houston, Buffalo and Kansas City. And the second of the twin bill, most of you will see the Cleveland Browns against the Denver Broncos, or in some areas the New York Jets and the Baltimore Colts. We suggest you check your local listings for the games and times in your area. Pat Leahy is now 12 for 20 on the season. He did set up to start the drive from close to 50 yards away, and the big play of the half off the fake. Pat Ryan surprising the Patriots and made a nice cut from left to right and ran for 25 yards.
In fact, you thought they might have been close enough to get it in, but didn't work that way.
And the kickoff by Leahy. Ricky Smith tried to accelerate across the 25 and took a hard hit. Marion Barber involved on that stop.
I mean, the action level on those kickoff teams is something. I don't know how anybody survives them, but Marion Barber, who's playing as a halfback in certain situations today, has been an outstanding special teams player over the past year. Take a look. He gets right down in there, gets 3 Patriots out of position. I mean, to tell you, he took Robert Weathers on straight up, straightened him up, and made the tackle.
And New England first down at the 27. The rookie quarterback, Tony Eason. Rick Dawson, the tight end, short of the first down. Woodring, Crable on the stop, a 6-yard pickup. Cleveland now leading Baltimore 21-10 in the second quarter. Sipe and Newsom combining for 66 yards. Minnesota over New Orleans 10-7. Steve Dill's 5-yard touchdown pass. And the Redskins in front of the Eagles. John Riggins took it in from 3 yards out just a moment ago. Second and about 3. At the 34. 6 minutes left. First half. Van Egan. Short game. Kenny Neal, the right defensive end. On the stop, it's Gastineau, Klecko, Lyons, Neal up front, Woodring, Crable, and Mel. The linebackers, Lynn and Holmes at the corners, Ray and Troy are the deep men. Johnny Lynn starting in place of Bobby Jackson out with a hamstring. Well, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
First down was picked up by New England. A hard hit on Mosi Tatupu by Kenny Neal. You could hear the crunch up here. All right, we're set for another update. Let's get back to New York.
Thank you, Marv. You mentioned the score a moment ago. Here's how it happened. Brian Sipe on fire. Ozzie Newsome in a crowd. And look how he just shakes off Kim Anderson of the Colts. Waltzes on in for the touchdown. 21-10 Cleveland now. Back to Shea.
All right, Len, Marv Albert, John Brody from Shea Stadium. Mosi Tatupu trying to make the turn. Well, Philly and Washington now tied at 14. And
say what?
Yes, Jaworski threw his second of the day. So the Eagles hanging in. Redskins play hard. It's like the Raiders, game in, game out.
They can play poorly and win. That's the key. When you're good enough so that you don't have to play your best and you can still win, then you're going to end up 9-2 or something like that.
Third down and 5. Eason thus far only 2 for 5, 11 yards. They have stayed on the ground. Much time. Overthrown, but Johnny Lynn got a piece of it. Intended for the wide receiver, Stephen Starring. That, of course, could have been a dangerous play by Lynn. It's instinctive, but Starring could have picked it off.
Well, he's trying to catch the ball, and it's a reaction, you know, and actually, if Starring had held onto it, they would have picked up a first down. I'm impressed the way Eason hangs in the pocket and moves around in there to keep from getting hit. He hasn't had any receivers open as of yet.
Punt formation. Kurt Springs. Back at his 12. This is Shea, the short man. So again, Camarillo.
Brought down by Larry McGrew.
This time a 41-yard punt. And Troy with the short return, stopped by Larry McGrew. We'll be back in a moment. Marv Albert, John Brody, Shea Stadium, 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this first half. Folks, not much going on. Pat Leahy, 18-yard field goal. That's been it. And here are the Jets from their 27. And it's McNeil. Could not make the turn. Well covered by the strong safety Roland James, and Don Blackman, who is back in action. He was shaken up earlier. Roland James with 5 interceptions on the season, including one last week, picking off Brian Sipe of Cleveland.
Well, you get the feeling, Marv, that both defensive captains are lining up in the offensive huddle, because it doesn't look like anything's going to happen, and neither offense has really tried to create anything.
And McNeil lost a yard, 2nd and 11. Out of the eye, Bobber and McNeil in the backfield. Play action. Todd with the bullet. Good catch again by Lamb Jones. Fred Marion, the extra defensive back, covering on the play. 11 yards picked up and a first down.
And this time Todd moves around in there very well. 53 and 57 are hung up on the line of scrimmage, did not get into their zone areas fast enough. As a result, Lamb Jones has nobody in front of him to deflect the ball. Todd gets it in there, and he does avoid another good hit.
Jets first down at their 37. 3.5 remaining in this first half. McNeil, the long deep back. And Freeman across the 40-yard line. Steve Nelson on the tackle, a 4-yard advance. Minnesota, New Orleans now tied at 10 in the second quarter. Morton Anderson hit from 25 yards away to tie it for the Saints. And coming up at halftime, NFL 83, Len Furman and friends.
Take a look out there.
At, what is happening around the NFL.
You know, I imagine people look at the score, they figure it's snowing back here, but I've never seen a more beautiful day.
And Ron Meyer would not have a snowplow. A definite disadvantage. 2nd down and 7. Here's McNeil again. To the 44. So we're seeing quite a bit of Freeman. McNeil picked up 5. There's Scott Durkin getting the tap. Joe Walt, Toby Williams, Roland James combining on that last tackle. It's a 3rd down and 2 as we approach 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
Well, this is where the Jets have had their problem. They've been able to move the ball on first down. They've been able to move it on second generally, but 3rd down and 3, 3rd and 4. They've been in this situation 4 times prior, have not yet picked up a first down. Let's see what happens this time.
So we get the 2-minute warning. We'll be right back. And Freeman McNeil, who sat out 7 weeks after suffering a separated shoulder, welcome back in a big way here at Shea. He's been seeing a lot of that football.
That's right. He hasn't seen the holes he'd like to see, but he has seen the ball.
3rd down and 2. 2 minutes left, first half. Jets at their 45. They lead it 3-0. Shooter for the first down. To the New England 40-yard line. James and Nelson on the stop. 15-yard pass play.
And you hurry up offense.
And Todd waited to the last possible instant. It was tipped by Blackman, intended for Durkin.
Now that was good fortune, because if Blackman had just seen the ball a little bit quicker, he'd have picked it off for 6. It's the kind of play that wasn't going to pick up any yardage. Actually, the defense played very well on that play, and Todd didn't have a wide receiver open down the field, but those are the kind of mistakes that occasionally you see Richard making, and they've just been keeping his group in a hole for the year.
And the Jets now facing 6 defensive backs. Fred Marriott, Paul Dabrowski have come on, joining Lippett, James Sanford, and Claiborne. Second down 10 from the Patriot 40. Minute and a half remaining, first half. Todd with the ball. Fred Marriott on the intercept from the deflection of Lamb Jones.
Well, again, you're going to see Lamb Jones coming over the middle, and when he does so, he doesn't go up with his hands. It's in an area where he's trying to make a cradle catch, and the ball's thrown over his head. As we take a look at the wide defensive secondary look, you see they're in a double zone, but they're man-to-man underneath. So Todd, they're not giving him anything. But as he throws the ball down the field, you see Lamb Jones go up for it and try to cradle it. You just can't cradle it when it's that high. You've got to get up and grab it.
Fred Marriott out of Miami University, second intercept of the season. In fact, second of his career in this his second season in the NFL. Went 12 yards off the interception, and the Patriots in possession with 1 minute and 25 remaining, first half. They start out from their 17, trailing 3-0. Quarterback, rookie Tony Eason. Eason with a deep drop. That's Derek Ramsey. He refused to go down.
He refuses to go down a lot of times. He's one of those few players we mentioned earlier. They got a great trade because Lou Herber was out in Oakland for so many years. He knew how good a player Derek Ramsey was. They got him for Hasselbeck and Shelby Jordan, and he's going to be a big help to the Patriots in the next few years.
11-yard pickup by Ramsey, and a timeout has been called. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. Capacity crowd here at Shea Stadium. Patriots taking over. Following the interception. 11-yard pass play to the tight end Ramsey. First down at their 29. Eason hanging in the pocket. Ramsey not able to hold on. Bell and Crable combining on the coverage. So it'll be a second down and 10. That's a wild one. Cleveland now leading Baltimore 21-17. And Washington now in front of Philadelphia 21-14. John Riggins, his second touchdown of the day to take the lead. His 20th rushing on the year. That's a new NFL record for John Riggins. Eason running away from Gastineau. Nice play by the rookie quarterback as Van Egan on the reception, stopped by Crable, and look out.
What's going on here? Klecko's having a little
go. And Ron Wooten, the New England right guard, getting involved.
Now, if there is a penalty, and I don't know who it's on, it will be after the play was completed, so it will be from the spot of the ball. I don't know how you could differentiate as to who was at fault there. There were two guys having to go at one another.
Well, Darrell Ray is applauding the call. Let's see.
Personal foul, 73, New York. Personal foul, 61, New England, offset. First down.
Well, apparently Darrell Ray clapping to keep warm.
Which is the same as saying no foul.
Right. Offsetting penalty. 20-yard pass play, though. As Eason was very impressive, John, able to hang in
He is creating his own time. He's the man that's responsible for all the completions he's thrown today, and there haven't been a lot of them, but he hasn't called the plays, remember. I think they'll give him a little more responsibility in the second half. They've worked him into it very easily, and that's to say the least. But I think they're going to have to count on the arm of number 11 if they're going to do anything to the defense today.
48 seconds left, first half. Patriots now first down at midfield. Jets lead 3-0. Chased by Gastineau, and again able to connect. This time Stanley Morgan at the 30, hit by Schroy and Lynn. A 21-yard pass play. Hurry up offense for the Patriots. 30 seconds remaining, and now the whistle blown to get it going. Again, he's able to elude Gastineau, and it's incomplete.
Hey, Tony's thrown a few balls that I think he'd like to have back. Now, he got lucky with that last one that he kind of lobbed in over the linebackers' heads. But if he throws that ball 5 times, 4 of them will be picked off. That time he tried to throw across his body without setting his feet and almost threw it too low and got a linebacker. Don't get too cocky, kid.
All right, that last pass intended for Stanley Morgan. Now here is the completion to Morgan.
Certainly. Now take a look at where he is. There are an awful lot of green shirts down there. Easton makes it's a fine throw under adverse conditions, but let's get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 at the 29. 19 seconds left. And again the completion to Morgan. Ken Schroy on the coverage. And when I said impressive, John, you really have to be impressed with the way that Eason has been able to hang in despite looking right in the face of Mark Gastineau and able to get the good pass off.
Well, you said it right. He hangs in there to the last possible instant, and it's all feel for a quarterback. When he gets back there, he can't look at the on-rushing defensive linemen, but you have to know where they are, and he feels them excellently. He knows when to move around in the pocket. And this is the first time they've come out of their shell, and they've been rather effective.
And now call for time. There's Fred Steinfort. But so Steinfort waiting in the wings with 11 seconds remaining and a 1st and goal down at the 9 off the 19-yard pass play to Stanley Morgan.
And they're discussing right now. We've got 1 timeout left. So if you throw the ball into the end zone, we're okay. If it's incomplete, that's all right. But don't get caught on the playing field, because then we wouldn't have a timeout. We'd have to come in and kick a field goal right away. Otherwise, we can throw 2 balls into the end zone and won't eat up so much time that we can't kick a field goal. So they're trying to buy 1 extra shot at it. And I don't think they're going to fool the Jets either.
NFL 83 is coming up at halftime. A look at what is going on around the National Football League. 11 seconds remaining in this first half. An 18-yard field goal by Pat Leahy, and that has been it. So Tony Eason following the discussion with Ron Meyer back on. Let's see, one clock here has 11 seconds left, and another has 12. The official time being kept on the field. First and goal at the 9. Morgan goes left, and Jones to the right. And Eason is hauled down by Marty Lyons.
Well, because he got caught, they have to call their timeout. They kick the field goal. That sack saved 2 tries at a touchdown. Marty Lyons, excellent rush, number 93. He and number 73 are putting very good pressure up the middle, but this time Lyons gets rid of his block, gets Tony Eason, and with a good kick, we'll go into the locker room 3-3.
Our 3rd sack of the season by Lyons. The Jets with their 2nd of the day. Fred Steinfort, former Raider, former Falcon, former Bronco, former Bill, and 5 for 10 on the season, but he's hit only 2 of his last 6. Taking over for John Smith, signed as a free agent back in October.
When you see a team that's only tried 10 field goals all year, generally it's because they have a good offense inside the 20.
And this is a 39-yard attempt. His 35. No good. So Steinfort not able to hit from 39. And there are 2 seconds remaining on the clock as the Jets maintain a 3-0 lead.
First and 10 for the Jets from the 21.
Jets take over at the 21-yard line. It has not been thrills and spills here in this first half.
No, it did get a little exciting toward the last 30 seconds, but...
And you know the reaction of the crowd, although it is the only possible play. However,
oh, there were other choices. But how many times are you going to throw an 80-yard touchdown?
all right, that's the end of the first half. And the Jets lead New England 3-0.